Did the Elimination Chamber go off as we expected it to? Find out as WGS-TV reviews the WWE Elimination Chamber pay-per-view for 2017. Hey YouTube, are you ready for your hot tag? Because if you are, it's definitely time to work.
Hi, I'm Velvet Sky, and you're watching WGS-TV. Feel free to check out my boy Billy's YouTube channel at youtube.com/WrestlingGamer, because Velvet Sky said so.
What's up guys, I'm the WrestleGamer. Welcome back to another episode of WGS-TV right here on youtube.com/WrestleGamer. Going into the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, there was a lot of speculation as to what WWE was going to do with the WWE World Heavyweight Championship leading into their biggest show of the year, WrestleMania. Would they keep the title on John Cena, or would they go a completely different route? To answer those questions, let's talk about the Elimination Chamber.
WGS-TV reviews the Elimination Chamber, brought to you by Nikki Bella's Sweet Booty.
Kickoff match was Mojo Rawley taking on Curt Hawkinz, but this is really a throwaway match. You know guys, a time filler, as in, why would anybody care? I mean, I know they have to do something with them, and I guess they needed another match to fill the slot, so they put this one together. No score. Opening match of the Elimination Chamber was Becky Lynch and Mickie James. I don't think I got the chance to mention how hot Mickie James looked on Smackdown Live this past week in her blue jeans. Magnus, you are a lucky guy. So, I just wanted to mention it here. I have to say it was a good start to the show. Overall match content was good, and I expected that, with not only Lynch in the match, but Mickie James as well. A 3 out of 5 on this one. Up next, it was the 2-on-1 handicap match as Apollo Crews and Kalisto took on Dolph Ziggler. This was mostly Crews versus Ziggler due to the fact that Ziggler took out Kalisto before the match even happened. As far as this one goes, it fell a tad lackluster, which is kind of disappointing considering the fact how talented everyone in this match is, especially Ziggler. Kalisto would come back into the match right around the finish of the match, which was Crews hitting the spin-out powerbomb on Ziggler to pick up the win. When was the last time we saw Crews go over in a match since they made the transition to Smackdown Live? Just saying. Just saying. This match was really short for what it was, but I suppose having Ziggler once again attack Kalisto and Crews after the match adds to his new heel persona, but it could have been more. A 2 out of 5. Up next, it was the Tag Team Turmoil match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. I was very interested to see how they were going to work this match, all things considered. And from what I saw, they worked it as a gauntlet match, with the winners taking on the next challengers. It started off with Heath, Slater, and Rhyno taking on Breezango, who looked like rejects from the Love Boat. Rhyno with Gore Breeze to eliminate them. Up next, it was the Vaudevillians, and it would be Slater with the Impaler DDT to English to eliminate the Vaudevillains. Then it was the Usos. Anyone else feel that the Usos heel turn had a hot start but then just fizzled out? I kind of expected to see the Usos advance here, and after a super kick to Slater, that is just what happened. I was a little surprised to see the champs American Alpha come out next, as I'm expecting them to be last in this match. Gable would catch one of the Usos in an inverted shoulder pin to eliminate them. Then after the Usos would assault the Alphas, I was getting the idea that they were going to drop the tag team titles to the Ascension. That's what my thought was. And after seeing the fall of man on Gable, I thought it was over right there, but Jason Jordan made the save, and after seeing American Alpha hit the grand amplitude on Victor to retain the championship, I couldn't understand the move now. Usos attacking the American Alpha presented them with a challenge to overcome, with the Ascension coming out to retain the championships. I really liked the Tag Team Turmoil match, a 4 out of 5. Up next, it was Nikki Bella taking on Natalya. You want to talk about a match that blew my expectations? It was this one right here. Ever since Nikki Bella returned, she has vastly improved her in-ring product, and Natalya was always good, but sadly overlooked in my personal opinion. I did get the chance to see them work together live at the Cajun Dome in Lafayette, Louisiana during the Smackdown Live event a month ago, and they worked that match really well, but they far surpassed what they did there. So a couple of things I want to talk about when it comes to this match. What a couple of the submissions Nikki Bella was doing, you could tell that she was not comfortable doing them, especially with the slow transition she did with the cross arm breaker, but I could be just nitpicking here. However, Nikki Bella's clothesline spot off the ring apron to the outside was outstanding, but that would kick off the fight on the outside, which would lead to the double countout finish, which was kind of expected, because I believe they really want to push this angle towards WrestleMania. Nikki's spear on the ramp, well, like I already said, Nikki has vastly improved ever since she returned. Great match, but the finish was expected. 4 out of 5. Up next, it was Randy Orton taking on Luke Harper. Would Harper be classified as a face now? It's hard to say, because Orton still gets a pop wherever he goes. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. Is Luke Harper a face, or is he still a heel? As far as this match goes, they kept me interested until the end. Seeing Orton and Harper both do the back suplex to the announce table was a nice touch. Orton's superplex was pulled off nicely considering his lineage. You know, his dad, Cowboy Bob Orton, used the superplex as his finish for many years. The finish of this match was Orton countering Harper's discus clothesline into the RKO for the win. This match was good, but I wish they would have given me more to talk about here. A 3.75 out of 5. Up next, it was the SmackDown Women's Championship as Alexa Bliss defended the title against Naomi. This was the third women's match of the night. Now, in the past, during the Divas era, I would have groaned at the mere thought of 3 women's matches on one card, but as of late, the talent in the women's division has vastly improved since then, and prime examples of that are both Bliss and Naomi in this match. Now, did I personally believe Naomi was ready for a championship? As much as I like her in the ring, I didn't think so. Alexa Bliss is clearly the top heel in the women's division, and I thought they were going to continue to push her as the heel champion by keeping the title on her Sunday night, but much to my surprise, they gave it to Naomi. However, the split-legged moonsault finish was very sloppy. A decent match, a sloppy finish with an unexpected ending. A 3.5 out of 5. Up next, it was time for the Elimination Chamber match. Before I get to the match itself, I want to talk a little bit about the redesign of the Elimination Chamber itself. Think Hell in the Cell with pods and a circular roof with the WWE logo in the middle of it. One thing I didn't like, though, were the mats covering the grating inside the chamber. One thing fans expect to see is bumps taken on that steel grating, and putting the mats to covering that just kind of took away from the appeal of it that the original Elimination Chambers matches had. Now to the match itself. Something I talked about on Sports Entertainment Tonight this past Thursday was that if we saw John Cena start the chamber match, then it was more than likely he wasn't going to retain, and lo and behold, he started the match along with AJ Styles, with Ambrose, Miz, Corbin, and Wyatt in the pods to start. The order of the pod releases were as follows: Ambrose, then Wyatt, followed by Corbin, and lastly, Miz. First off, props to John Cena for taking the bump off the chain wall to the floor like a champ. I expected Ambrose to do spots off the top of the pod since he's the only CZW guy, you know, John Moxley and whatnot. I will give more props to Cena for trying a crossbody spot off the pods, but instead of getting a good jump, it looked like he just fell into it. But it still got a pop from the crowd regardless. Now to the eliminations. There were no eliminations until everyone was released from the pods, as I expected. First elimination would come with Ambrose rolling up Corbin for the pin. Corbin's follow-up attack on Ambrose leads me to believe that they're going to be working an angle with these two over the Intercontinental Championship come WrestleMania. Don't be surprised to see them start working something tonight on SmackDown Live. The follow-up attack with Corbin eliminating Ambrose after Miz pinned him would kind of lead me to believe all of that is going to happen. The third elimination of the match would come from Cena hitting the AA on Miz, so seeing Miz take a hike from the match really didn't surprise me at all. The next elimination was a shocker, though, as well, it was a shocker, but expected as the same time as Cena would be eliminated thanks to Bray Wyatt and the Sister Abigail, thus guaranteeing a new WWE World Champion. I pegged Cena to be involved in the actual finish of the match. I didn't expect him to take a hike before that happened, so that really caught me off guard. So it was Wyatt and Styles in the actual finish of the match, which was Wyatt hitting Sister Abigail on Styles to pick up the win and become the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. If you guys remember on Sports Entertainment Tonight this past week, we talked about the possible scenario of Wyatt walking out the champion and the possibility of the storyline that they could work for WrestleMania. Now one part of that has come to fruition as Wyatt is now the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Now, with Cena being owed a championship rematch, which is scheduled to take place tonight on Smackdown Live, there is the looming fear for some fans of WWE putting the title on Wyatt just so he could drop it back to Cena, thus breaking Ric Flair's 16-time World Championship record, making Cena a 17-time World Heavyweight Champion. Now, I'm not saying the Orton-Cena matches in the past were bad. Far from it. But it's been done already. And I think we, the fans, want to see something fresh. We want to see something new. And all things considered, I would like to see Orton and Wyatt work an angle for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship in the main event of WrestleMania more than Orton and Cena. Like I said, Orton and Cena in the past has never been bad, but it's been done. We're in a new era in the WWE. Let's see something new. Let's see something different. Putting the championship on Wyatt accomplishes one part of that. Tonight, they need to keep the title on Wyatt. I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not saying Cena is bad for it. But again, there is a looming fear that WWE just wants to break Ric Flair's record, and there's a possibility of them doing that tonight on SmackDown Live, which I hope they don't do. Because, one, I think Bray Wyatt has been overdue for a championship, whether it be a secondary championship or a major championship. And two, like I just said, a new, fresh angle for WrestleMania is now possibly in the works with Wyatt and Orton. I think WWE should keep the title on Bray Wyatt tonight. That's just my personal opinion. All things considered, this was a great main event for Elimination Chamber. I highly enjoyed it, especially with Ambrose being the only one to go through a pod on this one. In the past, we've always had at least one person to go through a pod in the Elimination Chamber matches, and Dean Ambrose, the CZW guy, of course, would go through it, although the plastic did look a little bit like a Walmart grade plastic. But again, all things considered, a 5 out of 5. Overall score in the Elimination Chamber gets a 4 out of 5 with best match of the night going to the Elimination Chamber match. As expected, the kickoff match will be getting the worst match of the night simply because there was zero interest in it. So, guys and gals, that's been my thoughts on Elimination Chamber. What I want to know from you guys out there, the viewers and subscribers, your thoughts on Elimination Chamber. What are your overall scores and what are your picks for best and worst match or segment of Elimination Chamber? I want to hear what you guys have to say. Be sure you put your comments in the comment section below. If you guys like this video, be sure you slam that like button like a champ. And if you guys want to see more of awesome wrestling talk with awesome gameplays right here on WGS-TV, well, you know the two ways you got to do it. You got to hit that subscribe button and you got to hit that bell icon to turn on notifications so that way you never miss out on another one of my videos right here on my channel. And don't forget to check me out live on Sports Entertainment Tonight this Thursday night, 9 p.m. Central Time with Nick Nede Fuquay and Mark Smartraha. I'm pretty sure those guys will also have a lot to say about what happened at Elimination Chamber, as well as what happened on Raw and what's going to happen tonight on SmackDown Live. So be sure you tune in for that, as well as getting in your calls and your comments in the chat room as well. So that being said, I am your friendly neighborhood wrestling gamer, and I will see you next time right here on WGS TV. Bye, guys!